right, you're listening to episode 164 of the DualShockers ShockCast. I am David Rodriguez. This evening I am joined by Tony Polanco,
What's up, people?
Joel Tavares,
What's going on, everybody?
George Jimenez.
Why don't you like the game I like?
Wait, what game is that? And Ryan Meitzler.
Hello.
Everybody.
So it seemed like it was a little quiet, and then this week we got some big news. New Batman game is coming out this year, and South Park came out. So we got a few things to talk about. But before we get into it, Tony is going to take us away with the new releases.
All right, so we got Hatsune Miku Project Diva F for the PSN Vita, I guess PS Vita. Master Reboot. George, was that you who reviewed that thing?
I think that was Masood.
Masood, okay. You can read that review. That's for PS3. Awesome Knots for PS4. That's a re-release. Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition for the PS4. That's for free this week. Growlancer Heritage War. There's a PS2 classic. That's a hell of a name, Growlancer. Just saying. NASCAR 14 for PS3. Power of Guns for the PC. Die Hard Dungeon for the PC, Year Walk for the PC. I don't know any of these fucking games. Block Drop
George
U.
probably does.
Block Drop U for the Wii U. Gigantic Army for the PC. Postmaster for the PC.
Postmaster?
And the Postmaster. That's the name of the fucking game.
It's Paperboy, just a sequel really later on.
Yeah, and of course, last but not least, South Park: The Stick of Truth for PS3, Xbox 360, PC. And for download. Okay, yeah. South Park.
What do you pick?
I think D-Rod hit everybody with a stick of truth this week.
You guys go first. What do you guys pick?
I'm still picking South Park because I don't give a shit what David thinks.
Yo, oh God, here we go. We're starting this now.
I'm gonna go with South Park on the PC also.
On the PC, he wants to make that clear. Ryan, Tony.
South Park.
All right.
I don't find any of these games appealing. None of them.
No, South Park. Dude.
I don't care about. I'm not a South Park fan, so I don't care.
You don't have to be a South Park fan. Trust me. If you're a fan of jokes about AIDS, pedophilia, rape, racism,
Anal probing.
Nazis, anal probing, I don't know, dismemberment.
Tony's
so
like,
stuff.
check.
Yeah, check. All right, fuck it. South Park then. South Park, unanimous.
Yeah. I guess I got some splaining to do. I played the game for review, and the review is on the site right now. And I gave it a 6.5.
Oh, no.
I know. Apparently that's a bad score, but I didn't see it as a bad score. I saw it as above average. I know. I'm such a sick human being. But yeah, I played it. I liked the game a lot. But I just felt that the gameplay was the part that was really lacking. In terms of all the South Park stuff, like it's like if I were to rate it just on how it was in terms of being South Park, it's perfect. But the gameplay was, I don't know, it didn't do it for me. It didn't really work for me. I had a lot of trouble with it, not in terms of being able to use it, but it just didn't seem very responsive. But yeah, for the most part, it was a good game. So 6.5 for me. Yeah,
That's a passing grade. Just so people know.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, I don't know, like when it comes to games and the game scores, which it's up to me, I wouldn't use scores, trust me, but it's like I see that as being like just below. It's good, but it's right above average.
Did you have any technical issues with the game? Because I know that's been some people's feedback on the consoles. People are having issues as far as like stuttering, frame rate issues, just hard locks, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that too.
Maybe it's just me. I mean, the whole thing with South Park is it's modeled after crappy animation to begin with. So if there were problems, if there were frame rate problems, I highly doubt I would have noticed.
Yeah, because the game itself
notice anything.
The game itself is gorgeous.
Yeah. It looks just like the show.
It looks as shitty as the show does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good kind of shitty. It's like high def shitty.
Yeah.
Well, George, you're playing it right now. Like, what do you think?
I'm digging it. For someone who doesn't, I'm kind of like an off and on South Park viewer. So like there are some references and characters that are just kind of way above my head. And I was like, okay, I guess Token is the only black guy. Okay, I see that's the joke. Okay, cool. It's little stuff like that I'm like, I don't know who these people are, but the game itself is really funny. There's zero challenge in the game. It just seems that, like, the game mechanics is just a mechanism to get you from funny joke to next funny joke to next funny joke, which is fine, because, like, if you're there expecting, like, it's Dragon Age Origins with South Park, that's not the case. It's a very light, very easy kind of RPG. I like the whole character creator thing. I made my own guy, and I took a bunch of cute pictures of me trying to take a poop on a toilet.
Wait, which class did you play as? You better say Jew.
No, I did a thief because I feel like everyone was picking the Jew, and I was.
But we've all played thief in every RPG, George.
Fine, I'm familiar with a fucking thief. I just didn't feel like playing a Jew.
That's the reason why I picked Jew, because I've played as warrior, thief, mage. I've never played as Jew.
That's true, and apparently Jew's they've got super magic, but no, I like my thief because he's got like a you start off with like a cool hood and you can throw lawn darts at people, and I was like, all right, I can dig it.
Started off with a yarmulke, man. It was amazing. A yarmulke and aviators. That's my character. The best powers in the game. They have Circumcise, Wrath of Egypt, David. They have a dreidel attack. And there's one more I can't remember. I'm sorry, George. Go ahead.
No, I mean I think the abilities are fun. I have to remind myself that I have abilities because, like I said, the game's super easy. You can literally go by just doing light attacks and heavy attacks because it's turn-based, but yet there's timing involving in every strike you do. So for a thief, he's got a 4-hit combo to begin with, and then if you're like, no, I need to do some damage, instead of hitting the button 4 times, you hit X when the prompt comes up. But yeah, every once in a while I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I have backstabs and muggings and all this shit I can do. But yeah, you can kind of steamroll through most of that game. Like I said, it's just getting you from joke to joke to joke, and I think it's pretty. We talk about things that are like is in the spirit of, especially when we're talking about like comic book games. This
licensed games. In general,
licensed games. Like this is very South Park. Like if you're a South Park fan, you're gonna love this game just because it kind of hits all the right South Park notes for you. And for some reason, I don't even watch it all that much, and I was like, oh, I dig this.
Same here, yeah.
And like, I never felt completely lost, but yeah, I mean, I'm having fun with it. I mean, I'm not gushing over it, but then again, I'm not a diehard fan, and it seems it's just like diehard South Park fans are upset that you scored it that way.
Yeah, and they're upset that he didn't score it as high as other sites. It's like David doesn't work for the other sites, man.
No,
he writes his fucking opinion, you know? And that's what a review is. A review is an opinion. It's not a fact. It's not laid in stone,
I think, because I've read a couple of other reviews from other sites, I think with them, the humor and the strength of the story was good enough to kind of offset whatever issues there were with the gameplay, but with me, I kind of didn't see it that way, because you spend more than half the time within the gameplay.
Yeah, I mean,
cutscenes most of the time.
It's that same Walking Dead argument where people are like, hey, the controls in Walking Dead, and Walking Dead Season 1, for the most part, half those episodes played like ass.
Mm-hmm.
But it had issues, that's true.
But we were willing to excuse that because the story was so strong. But yeah, I feel like we're in the same. We're kind of having that same discussion here. So I don't know what the difference is. Is it just because the story was so good, we were willing to excuse it, or is the South Park story not that great for us to excuse kind of like the mediocre combat and like some of the not polished things there?
It's option C. The story is so great, but I can't excuse the gameplay.
Yeah, that's actually
exactly. And you're being more honest. I mean, if these guys are just giving it high ratings just based on the fact that they like South Park and that's funny, and not basing it on the game, that's kind of a disservice to the people that are buying it, don't you think? Yeah, I think you're actually giving the most honest review out there if you actually talked about the actual game itself, which is what it is, the fucking video game,
That's one of the things I was like, when I looked at other reviews on other sites from, I saw like a lot of 9s and some really high scores, so I was wondering, like, are they basing that off of it being a really, really good South Park game versus being, a good game just in general, and like not just off the strength of the license, especially because South Park hasn't had the best luck with other previous games, because it's had a lot of really bad games before. Like,
you mean that Snowball Fight game was no good?
The original N64 one was kind of fun, but like other than that, it's had pretty bad games. So I guess David, with your review, was like you based it more on the gameplay and it's it working as a game rather than I think just as a really good South Park game.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Well, I see it more as this is your review is based on your experience, and like someone can play who's a big South Park fan. It's like, oh, I'm digging this because I'm really into South Park, and I could see why they could gauge it that way. Like me, I'm digging it too, but like, you know, would I give it a 9 or a 10? Probably not. I mean, like, I'm not the biggest South Park fan. I think the writing's funny, but like I said, a lot of those references are lost on me. Like, you know, Al Gore wants me to look for a man bear pig, and I'm like, oh, this would be really. I'm guessing this would be really funny if I knew who man bear pig was or what was happening here, and you know, and Al Gore's just hiding in bushes, and he's got like a little.
Just to go off topic, like what's in the game with man bear pig, that's pretty much what the episode was anyway.
Oh, okay. But,
yeah.
But yeah, like stuff like that is lost on me. But like, you know, I'm digging it, and I just like putting my character in just like really ridiculous outfits. So I've got like a spaceman helmet, and I've got a little pirate beard, and it's really cute.
Mine had a pair of underpants on his head.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But I think I think this situation is a perfect example of when you read reviews for a game and you don't agree with the score, then maybe that reviewer is just not for you.
Yeah.
And that should be the attitude to have. Like if like when I read something that I don't like, then I don't go there anymore. I'll find a place that you know I agree with their approach to their writing style, and that's what I stick with.
No, Dave, I can't enjoy South Park unless you like it.
Unless
I actually can't keep playing until you called me on the phone and said, you know what, George, I love this game. Go back to playing this game. Like that's the only way I can do it. I can't. You ruined South Park for me, Dave. Actually,
I know. I ruined everyone's day.
Listen, I was and shout out to Delson. I had to tell him, I'm like, wait a minute, how does Dave's score affect your enjoyment of it? Because he specifically said, like, oh, you gave it a bad score, but it's my favorite game. I'm upset. I'm like, why does it get you upset, dude? Enjoy the game. It doesn't matter. That score makes no difference. It's just a fucking number. You know, it does. If you like the game, that's all that matters. You know,
and it just means that my review, that review is maybe not for him.
Yeah,
and just go read some others. Maybe there's some other writers out there that you might jive with better.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of the Walking Dead, Ryan, you had a chance to play episode 2, right?
Yes, I did. Yep.
And
I liked it overall. It's good. I think it's a little bit of a slightly slower paced episode, maybe, just because it's more. It's kind of more setting up a lot of the things that we'll see probably in the rest of the season. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it added a lot of new. So it's tough. It's tough to talk about it because like you can't really say much without spoiling some of the really big.
Don't spoil it.
Right.
Don't you dare, Ryan.
I have to agree with Ryan. I was playing through it. I was getting near like the last third of the episode, and I thought to myself like, this is really slow. Like even for The Walking Dead. And then of course things kind of picked up, and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, but overall, yeah, it's still really good, and it's just tough whenever I finish an episode because I'm always looking forward to the next one, and we still have to wait another, 2 or 3 months until then. But yeah, but I really enjoyed it. So I don't know what you thought about the episode overall, but
I thought it was good. I thought it was one of the first episodes where I felt like I was playing a video game. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because it was slow enough that it kind of took me out of it at times. I don't know. It's kind of like for those of you that saw Breaking Bad, the last 8 episodes, you had that episode Rabid Dog, which was like right in between 2 major plot points of those last 8 episodes. It kind of felt like that. Like it was kind of bridging, Clementine's arc in the first episode to the rest of the season. But definitely, the 3rd episode looks like things are gonna really pick up. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and what was there was pretty monumental, like in terms of the stuff that goes on and like what it'll do for the rest of the season, most likely, and where it'll go.
They've got my wallet.
Yeah, and it was nice also seeing some of decisions from from the first season and 400, and especially 400 Days start to take play a little bit more in this episode than it did in the first episode.
Spoilers.
Yeah, you mean the part with the zombies, right? Where the walkers come in and attack. So
damn it, Ryan.
Without saying anything specifically, that's all I meant. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go with the 500-pound Dark Knight in the room. Batman: Arkham Knight was announced, and That was probably one of the worst kept secrets of this year so far, with all the rumors that came out right before its announcement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think the circumstances of the announcement didn't help either. Where it was leaked that morning, and then they came up with the official announcement like 2 hours later.
it was pretty much leaked like the day before too.
It was pretty much Warner Brothers like, all right, here, fuck.
They were like, they were like, well, we gotta release it anyway, so might as well.
It's like having a surprise party spoil. It's like getting a text message like, hey, don't be late for your surprise. You're like, ah, fuck. Like, act surprised, guys.
I don't know.
Batman's back. All right, great.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would be more excited for Arkham Knight if Arkham Origins did not exist. If that makes any sense.
George, I actually
because that's WB Montreal and this is Rocksteady.
No. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter who the developer is. I think it's just the fact that we're getting to a point where we're getting a Batman game every year.
Yeah.
And last year we had 2.
Yeah, because think about it like this: if you take Arkham Origins out of the equation, right? The last Batman game was in 2011. That's a pretty big gap. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But Arkham Origins came out last year, so it's like this is a little too soon. What the fuck's going on?
And
so
also,
yeah.
And it was a mediocre Batman game.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm not attributing that to the studio. And David, I don't care. You gave South Park a 6, so who?
6.5.
6.5. That extra 0.5.
That 0.5.
I'm sorry.
It goes a long way.
Because I gave Fable a 6, and I'm gonna catch shit for that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
From people I know who are big Fable fans, who are just like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Guys, it just looks better. It's broken."
You gave it a 6, and you should have gave it a 6.5. You're so wrong. Like,
the lesson learned is if you give a bad score to a popular game, you get shit. Because I gave Castlevania a 5.5. I didn't really get much flack for that.
No one plays Castlevania anymore.
Well, it's not that, but I think that's the kind of expected score. Even if you've never played a Castlevania, I think people are just kind of expecting, whatever, Castlevania. They kind of shrug their shoulders at it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Batman. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know how to feel about this. On the one hand, I love Arkham City was one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah. Great. Granted. Fine. Sure. I'll give you that.
But there's a sequel to it. Awesome. But
it's not good.
I'm just going to be honest.
It was not good. Yeah, and you know what, Tony? You have that look in your eye where you just don't want to say anything bad about Batman, which is fine because I felt the same way when I played through Arkham Origins.
It's not that I am getting a little fatigued on Batman.
That's fine, and that's the one thing you never want to get fatigued on.
Yeah. So it's not that I don't want to say it. Actually, man, you know right. I do want to say it hurts to say that. Exactly. I'm getting a little tired of Batman. Just give it a break.
And this is the thing. This is going to be Rocksteady's last Batman game. It's going to be clear ending to their Arkham trilogy.
Yeah.
But it's possible that WB Montreal may still make Batman games set in the Origins time period.
That's you know what? If they want to do like an early career Batman, that's fine. I just don't want it every year, just because we'll start falling to that Assassin's Creed trap, where to the point when Assassin's Creed 4 was announced, Ubisoft really had to go out of their way. It's like, I know it's another year of Assassin's Creed, but this one's different. I promise. Like they really had to be really adamant about that. Yeah. I feel like Rocksteady might have to do the same thing. Guys, no, guys, no. For realsies, this is legit. All right. Don't get tired of Batman. I feel like they have to do more for us now.
Okay, exactly.
Well, I mean, the big get with this game right now is the car. You finally get to drive the car.
Yeah, because people have been asking for that for since Arkham Asylum. They're like, "Where's the car? Well, I want the car."
It's stupid.
That's honestly the one thing I didn't. That's honestly the one thing I didn't want. And I've gotten into a lot of arguments with my friends about this. But when I hear people saying that they want to drive the Batmobile, you know what I picture? The scene in 1992. Batman Returns, when the Penguin
just you saying that movie.
Okay, whoa, Batman Returns.
Where do they get the blueprints of the fucking Batmobile somehow?
Yeah.
And they put a bomb in the bottom of it, and then the bottom of the Batmobile is
remote controlling it in one of those 25-cent Batmobile things. Yeah. But that's what I picture. Like when people say I want to drive the Batmobile, I'm like, yeah, you people are gonna drive around, crash into shit, just like he did in the movie.
No, see, I'm not getting something worse. Remember in the follow-up Batman Forever where the Batmobile goes up the side of a building? That's my biggest
Yeah, look, I was excited. I'm excited that a Batman game is coming out. The Batmobile is irrelevant. I don't care. I actually think that's kind of dumb. I like the fast travel system of Origins of just like airplane and you get thrown off somewhere else. That's pretty fucking cool. I'm like, why get rid of the jet? I'm like, he has a fucking plane and it's a bigger world. So I'm like, you know what? Wouldn't the jet make more sense? But whatever, people want the Batmobile.
They want the car. I don't know what we're gonna do with the car. And that's gonna be the only vehicle too. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. You don't have the Bat cycle or any of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, if the car drives fine, I don't care. If you can customize it, great. I want to make it red with fucking flags on it. That'll be fun.
You're not making that shit customizable, dude. You know that. You can't paint it anything
I want
black.
I want bat pinwheels on it.
It needs, it's missing fins. That's what it's missing.
I'm sorry, Ryan, I cut you off. What happened?
It's okay. No, I was just saying, Jorge wants Batman Forza, so he can just customize the Batmobile.
If I can put YOLO right across, hashtag YOLO.
Oh god,
that'd be amazing. That was the #1 skin on Forza for like 3 days. Was the YOLO car? The YOLO car skin. I was like, I need this fucking car because you can customize all the cars. So you can kind of go into user generate stuff. And you're like, oh, well, what's popular? And #1 was fucking YOLO. I was like, oh,
the YOLO car.
For some reason, I'm imagining it's saying Yobo. You only Batman once.
I can dig it.
Okay, that was good, Tony. That was good.
No multiplayer this time around.
Yay!
No multiplayer, single player only, and next gen only.
The part that caught my attention was that supposedly one of the characters in this has as many polygons as all of the environment of Arkham Asylum.
I think it's a Two-Face.
Yeah, I was like,
what is that? I have no idea what that means. You're just throwing numbers at me.
It's just graphics.
He's got more triangles. Yeah. Okay, great.
That's kind of nutty, but
because it's on a next gen system. Yeah. So to me that's not even like that's not a huge claim to me because I don't know what these numbers mean. It's like when Microsoft said we've got 1 billion transistors. I'm like, what the fuck is a transistor?
But no, I mean think about it like this. I'm not talking about in terms of numbers. Think about you have an entire world that's made up of this many polygons. Now you have one character that's made out of the same polygons as an entire world. That's kind of impressive, don't you think?
Nice.
I'm not saying oh my god, you got to get this game out.
It's not going to affect my experience with the game.
I guess, yeah. Right. I mean, I probably would have not have noticed if you pointed it out. If a PR guy pointed it out to me, like, oh, well, that's pretty cool.
You have to feign interest in that.
Yeah, but
I think the one thing that's nice is that Gotham in this game is 5 times bigger than Arkham City.
Yeah, I mean, let's take advantage of the hardware. That's fine. And I think those numbers, which is just a show, so no, this is going to be a huge difference. This isn't like a multi-platform type deal. It's like this discussion. That's what I like about it. The discussion we had last week where Tony's like, no, that's not next gen because it's on multiple. This is like assuring you. It's like, no, we can't do this fucking game.
Exactly.
And
by the way,
we can't even try. I'm sorry.
I need to thank this game for coming. That announcement coming out yesterday because I was writing editorial and I was stuck on one more example of something that can't be done in last gen. Then this game comes out. I'm like, thank you.
But we're talking in terms of polygon count. I mean, we had the same discussion from last week. I'm pretty sure the combat's going to play the same way. Regardless of what engine he's on, the staple.
Yeah.
Except this time around, he can interact with environment. He can take a guy and smash him on his face. But I'm like, didn't we do that in True Crime? Come on, guys.
We did that in the last one.
We did that, all right? That's not next gen to me. It's been done before, right?
Yeah, I think having the game on next gen only is really the big thing that's drawing me to it. Even though I don't have a next gen console yet, but anyway, that's the thing that's because if they announced this as like a last gen next gen crossover game, I'd be kind of like, I don't know. But the fact that it's being developed exclusively for next gen,
well, it's coming out next year, right?
So
it's coming out this year. They said this year October, which is whoa, that's kind of if it was coming out next year,
that's
I would have been
okay
with it. Yeah, Batman. That's true.
Yeah, October 18th, 2011 was Arkham City.
Yep, pretty interesting.
Great. We need more games on next gen because I have a feeling once this kind of this rush of games is over, we're gonna have a really long drought until next fall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless we get Mass Effect HD, right?
Not.
How many? Oh man, forget it. That's a whole other topic.
So the main villain is going to be some people are saying Scarecrow and the others are saying that the Arkham Knight.
Yeah, that's his name, the Arkham Knight.
There's a character. There's a villain running around calling himself the Arkham Knight. The main villain, I guess, if we're dealing with real characters, is Scarecrow, and Two-Face and Penguin's in it, and Harley's in it, and I guess they're all getting. I guess we haven't
seen them before.
Yeah, well, I was just happy because they're following the Arkham kind of story, is there Joker's not there, and I know people are like, oh, I need the Joker. I'm like, no, you don't, because
No, you don't.
I think Joker is
Joker comes back, I will fucking behead Kid.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, let's hope
dead.
not, because I
hope he stays dead.
I would love to have that world as that kind of that consequence of people thinking that Batman killed Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because when you play the DLC, people are like, "Yo, I'm like, did Batman kill Joker?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I think so." I was like, "Oh shit, this guy's crazy." Yeah. But I think my issue with Joker is like your trump card, and I feel like too many people, too many writers, we see Joker used as almost as like a crutch.
Yeah.
As far as when you're trying to come up with like an interesting story.
Well, look at Arkham Origins. It's a perfect example.
Yeah, I mean, we got like another fucking Joker story, and I was like, I love the Joker as a character, but we're treating him the same way. It's like, let's get rid of him for a while, and let's treat him the same way they're doing with Joker in the comics right now, where hey, Joker's been gone for before Joker reemerges in Death of the Family, he was gone for a year, and I was like, hey, we got maybe some of the best Batman stories with no Joker inside. Like, Court of Owls was amazing. I was just like, holy balls! I'm like, this is a great reintroduction of Batman to people who don't normally read Batman. And it's like, look, and Joker was quote unquote in the first issue, but then he wasn't there. I loved it. I thought it was great. But...
No, George, I'm glad you brought up the Court of Owls, because that's what I was. I mean, look, we don't know the entire roster of villains, so I'm not gonna make any sweeping judgments. But so far, we have Scarecrow, Two-Face, Penguin, and Harley Quinn, and it's like we've had Scarecrow. Well, hold on. Yeah, we've had Scarecrow already, and. With him, he shoots gas in your face, and you're afraid. We've done that gag already. Two-Face, in my opinion, there is no compelling Two-Face story outside of the origin, and he was a he was a jobber villain in Arkham City. That's some wrestling terminology for you. And then Penguin, we've had Penguin in 2 games already. Harley Quinn is like the only interesting aspect I see right now.
But she's been in the other games too.
No, I'm saying she was in Arkham Asylum in Arkham City, but now you're dealing with a Harley Quinn that's without a Joker.
Well, I mean,
so with him being gone, I kind of see her being in it, but the rest, it's like I've seen their shtick already.
Yeah, well, they've had no opportunity to shine. I mean, you've got that 500-pound gorilla in the room of the Joker who just chews up fucking scenery, and it's just like, this is about him. No one really cares about these ancillary characters. I'm like, Two-Face is one of my favorite villains, and I've been reading the current run of Batman and Robin, and Two-Face. And the arc just ended.
If you like face to face, I'm gonna kick you out of this room.
Get out of here! But
I had to make sure.
That's some low hanging fruit, my friend.
I had to make sure. Okay.
But yeah, that arc was like you got to see Two-Face in a different light, which was amazing. And I think there's potential for a lot of these characters when they're not playing like second fiddle to whatever stupid Joker scheme is going on. So, and like, I think I think Scarecrow's good. If Scarecrow's the main villain, I think hopefully it's outside of I'm gonna put gas in balloons and I'm putting it on Gotham. I'm putting it in the water and like.
What else does he do? That's what I'm saying. What else does he do?
Dave, I'm kind of looking at this from a video game perspective. I'm like, I've beaten the shit out of these people already, and I have to beat them up again as bosses. It's kind of boring,
That's another reason why you bring in the Court of, like, you do something different. Bring in the Court of Owls, because those guys are new, or you bring in Jason Todd. Or, somebody.
Who could be? I mean, if we want to speculate, he could be the Arkham Knight, because
I think it's Hush.
In Mantle of because remember in Mantle of the Bat he was the armored Batman who was pretending to be Batman. He looks a lot like Arkham Knight. Just saying,
but here's the thing, and I'm glad you bring that up. Okay, because they were talking about how like, this new villain is an anti-Batman. I'm like, don't we already have a bunch of those already? Do you need to come up with a new character to have an anti-Batman? So I think I'm with Dave. I think it's a red herring. It's an old character, They're just saying it's someone new.
It's probably, I would say, it's probably like Wrath or maybe Prometheus or some nonsense like that. But that's just really inside baseball. We're just really pulling villains out of our ass now. Comics, gross. What's wrong with you guys? But
it's Batman, goddammit.
Batman's great. I can talk about Batman forever. Batman's fucking awesome.
So, I will be buying the game, but
me too. Yeah, regardless of what I say. Yeah, regardless of this Batman fatigue talk. Yeah, I'll buy fucking day one. Like
after this,
I'm like one of those Assassin's Creed fans who are just like, I can't stand this game, but they buy it regardless because they're just hoping like this one's gonna be fine.
And then you got 4, and you fucking loved it, so it worked out for you.
There you go.
Yes, Black Flag was the shit.
But yeah, no, Rocksteady, look, after this, I'm glad you're concluding it. Now, can you please just move on to Superman, Green Lantern, one of the two? That's all I ask. Thank you. What? What?
We don't need a Superman game.
Oh, fuck out of here. There's
Superman 64. Superman 64 HD. That's what
Superman
I said.
64 HD.
I'll review it.
You would, because I would not touch that with a 10-foot cattle prod. No way.
No, we don't need a Superman game.
Blue
Beetle, that's the way to go.
Oh, Jesus.
That could actually be pretty cool.
That'll put asses in the seats.
Yeah.
Hey, that'd be fun. I don't know. Why not? Let's go. Like, I like when they go obscure. Let's do a Jonah Hex fucking redemption type game, man.
Because the movie did so well, right?
Yeah, don't base it on that shitty movie.
Don't talk about movies, dude.
Why? Because I hate all the movies that people love. Is that why?
Like Jonah Hex.
I fucking hate Jonah Hex. All right, so yeah, we're gonna move into some news right now. We got a few bits here to talk about. HBO Go is finally available on the PS3.
Good. Watch True Detective.
True Detective. You go watch that. Go watch Vice.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones,
which I started watching now that I have HBO Go on my PS3.
Oh, nice. You just started watching it, dude?
I just started watching
David, please do me a favor and tell me every single time you watch an episode. Like, Tony, oh my god, oh my god.
Have you read the books, Tony, or no?
Yes, I have. A Song of Ice and Fire.
I mean, I meant Dave. I'm sorry, not you, Tony.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No,
I'm going in completely a virgin.
Yeah,
David,
you'll like the show as far as just kind of like, cinema techniques and stuff. I'm curious to see what you think about like just following so many characters at once, because I know a lot of people found that a little bit jarring. Where it was like, wait, I like this guy. Why are we not sticking with him? Why are we in the desert? Like, this is dumb. Like,
just know that everyone you like on that show, something horrible will happen.
They all have a target. Yeah.
And everyone you hate everyone you hate will be completely fine.
Don't ruin it anymore, man. Oh, I can't wait. I want to hear your reactions, Dave.
The one thing I noticed was, because since the show came out, I know that everyone hates little Jeffrey or Joffrey.
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 Blame it on Batman.
Joffrey.
Blame it on Batman.
I know, he should have killed him, right, in Batman Begins?
Yep.
In the second episode, this little kid, he gets the butcher's son, the little ginger, he gets him killed.
Micah.
And they have to kill a direwolf.
Direwolf. Dyer. Dyer with an R.
No, I was pronouncing it the Canadian way, like it's not.
You're Dominican. Dyer Wolf.
No, but if you put Stick of Truth, you would get it, Tony. Damn it, Tony.
6.5 on DualShockers.com.
He's on screen 5 minutes. He gets a dire wolf and a little ginger killed. So.
Good. That's how you introduce him as the bad guy. he's not a bad guy unless he does something bad.
But he wasn't even being bad. He was just being an idiot. Like, he got fucked up and everything.
Well, according to South Park, gingers don't have souls, so there's that.
True. George, have you gotten up to all the Nazis yet? Just to say real quick.
No. I've got the last thing I did was I united all the banners, so I got Token Craig and Tweak. I got Craig from Detention, so I did fight a bunch of Hole Monitor Gingers. What was I doing right now? I just did the Bard stuff with
Jimmy.
With Jimmy. Oh, that was amazing.
With magical songs of enchant.
Magical songs of enchant. And then they even ask you to
go.
I let him go because it was like you get this big prompt to skip it.
Yeah.
He's just stuttering. I was like, no, I'm letting him go. I'm just gonna let the torture continue. And at some point, you still have to skip it because at some point he just kept going. But
I actually let him go, hoping there was like an achievement or something, but there wasn't.
No.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was great, and I loved him in the background just buffing guys by singing your mom jokes, and like I said, the humor's there. It's really good.
Love the game.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nazis, the Stick of Truth is the Stick of Truth is delayed in Austria and Germany due to presence of quote unquote unconstitutional material.
You mean the swastikas on the Nazi cows? That's bullshit.
Yeah, they're swastikas. With Nazis, there's swastikas everywhere.
I'm surprised it was only delayed in Austria and Germany and not banned in
Yeah. I'm actually surprised it was delayed like now. I figured they would have delayed it a while ago, or at least made an issue of it a while ago.
Well, I don't think it goes to. I think review boards only get it like a few weeks prior to their release. In some countries. So they just probably just got the game in their hands, like, and someone has to play through it to know, like, oh, there's tobacco use, there's fart jokes, there's poop, there's boobs, there's assholes. Like, But I mean, to be fair, I could see why Austria and Germany are kind of sensitive to having a bunch of swastikas.
Yeah, obvious reasons.
A little, And one other piece of news: Amy Hennig left Naughty Dog.
They announced this at like midnight, and like, what the fuck? Everybody nuts.
I wrote about it this morning, and I was like, oh, that's not good.
That made me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That made me sad. I liked her work on all 3 Uncharted games, even the third one that people.
Even the third one.
Even the third one. I liked her work on all of them, and it's too bad. You know, I mean, I hope she had a lot of influence on the 4th game.
But no, those characters are all pretty well written. Like I said, it's just kind of like a couple of those gaping plot holes, and just that, you know, the idea that he won't acknowledge that he just killed like 1 million guys. Like, like, hey, Drake, it's not that funny, all right? Like, you have a problem. You're a sociopath.
I think it's also, but I think it's like Uncharted has always been kind of modeled after like those action film tropes.
Yeah.
And those guys, like John McClane, never gave a fuck about all the people he killed. You know, that's how I kind of saw it with Nathan Drake.
Yeah, but the body counts are way different, though.
I know.
You know, in a video game, you gotta constantly kill stuff, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of dozen guys, Indiana Jones can just kind of like drink that away. Like a couple, 2 bottles of whiskey is in, he can forget that. But like Nathan Drake, literally has killed hundreds of guys. Like,
yeah,
that has to haunt him. But no, he's just gee golly, haha.
Well, yeah, well, all right. The video game equivalent is like Die Hard with a Vengeance when John McClane kills the guys in the elevator. There's like half a dozen guys in there. You know. He kills a lot of people.
I'm just saying, like,
amp it up for video games.
I'm just saying, Lara Croft killed a bunch of guys, but she did not look like she was enjoying it.
Yeah, she didn't like it at all.
No. Until she lands into a pool of blood and acts like, oh no, it's fine. I'm just gonna get out slowly, for the camera, right?
Yep.
Well, it was pretty thick blood. She couldn't walk fast.
Exactly.
No, she stood. She thicker. Was like she.
Blood is thicker than water, Dave.
Yes.
You're telling me you let her through blood, you're not going to start flailing? Because that's the
No, because the blood may get in your mouth and stuff. You don't want to flail. You want to just get out of there nice and slow.
She's been so hardened by the experience that it actually made her more dense as a person. Therefore, making her heavy.
The gesture I'm making right now, George. Jeez, you give me a break.
I can't, because you have a god-awful Final Fantasy XI avatar.
Avatar alone.
Which got a 9.5 on DualShockers.
No, just saying.
I'm joking. I think I would have got like an 8.5.
Tomb Raider?
No, Final Fantasy XI.
I don't think DualShockers existed when the game came out.
That's very true.
It didn't. The DualShockers was around for 7 years.
Oh, okay.
George.
I love that you said that out loud, because now you have to date yourself. Like, I haven't played this game that long.
God damn it.
Just on and off. So the rumor surrounding this thing with Amy Hennig leaving is that Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley forced her out.
Now, how would that even work? That's what I want to know. Like,
to me, it sounds like creative differences. I think is a lot of it to me, but again, it hasn't been officially like confirmed or anything like that. At least,
but everyone was very like kind of cordial about it. It's like, hey, it doesn't affect the development of the game. Blah blah blah. Peace out. Much love. But it was like, no, they gave her the boot, and I kind of want to know what the reason is. Where maybe it was creative, maybe it was an issue where what direction to take the franchise, or it was just character development stuff. Like, if I was in that writer's room, be like, hey, maybe we should make Nathan have some remorse. Nah, fuck you, he's a funny guy. Like, okay.
I mean, the thing is, I might be in that camp you're talking about right now. I don't think Uncharted should be dark. I like.
No, it doesn't have to be, but I mean, like, literally, it's like 1 or 2 throwaway lines, like, hey, Nate, are you doing okay? You just killed 10 guys. Yeah, I'm fine. And then, he can make a joke about it or something, but not this, like,
just acknowledge it, please, right? Please acknowledge it.
But the game, but in my head, the narrative works a lot better if we just treat Nathan as just a crazy person. and that's maybe the right way to play part 3, is if you just kind of excuse it and be like, oh no, he's a mass murderer, guys. He's like Joker equivalent crazy. And then when you look at it that way, it's like, oh, this game makes total sense now.
Or so it's really look at him as just a run-of-the-mill action hero.
Nah, that's dumb. No.
Like John McClane, who has no remorse either.
It's like when someone told me to play Dead or Alive and just pretend like the planet they're on is not Earth, like they're just aliens, and it just that bullshit story makes sense. And I was like, oh, huh. And I'm like,
Dead or Alive has a story? I thought it just had boobs.
No, the last one had a really bad story mode, and it was just like, and like you're like, this can't take place on Earth, right? And Never called Earth. They never said they were on Earth, so there's validity to that argument.
I thought you were going with this. You're like, oh yeah, just pretend it's another planet that has less gravity, and that's why the boobs are all bouncing around all over the place. That's where I thought you were going with that. But I want to say something about Amy Hennig. Now that she's gone, maybe she could go work at Crystal Dynamics and work on the Legacy of Kain series like she used to. That's where she, go back to that. Write a fucking Legacy of Kain game, please.
She goes to Squeenix to go work on Tomb Raider, and that's when it goes down. So.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
that would be interesting.
We wish her all the best.
Yes.
I'd like to see a Legacy of Kain game. That'd be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
That bums me out.
And Legacy of Kain is a real vampire game, unlike a certain other game I played. Just saying.
I told you, because no one plays Castlevania anymore. I told you. Speaking of which, though, what are you guys playing this week?
What aren't we playing? Is the real question.
I don't Ryan. Did I miss that? There you go, Ryan. Just go. Ryan.
Ryan.
Somebody needs to put a sound effect there.
Take over the show, Ryan.
Okay, I'll take over the show. It's fine. Anyway, assuming direct control. So anyway, like we talked about before, I finished episode 2 of The Walking Dead, and I've also been reviewing Yoshi's New Island, which I will have a review.
How is that?
So
Can you
far,
just give me like one word.
Dinosaur.
Charming.
It's
a very like Yoshi's Island. It's kind of geared more towards younger players because it's not particularly like very challenging or anything like that. But it is very like the graphics are really nice and it's really just kind of charming and fun. So I'm playing that now and I'll review it next week.
All right. Tony?
I only got one game this week and it is Bravely Default. I like it. I kind of don't like the fact that it's so grind heavy in the first like couple of hours. I'm like, damn, really? Like I'm getting fucked up by everything right now, so I gotta like grind a lot just to make it. But I'm having fun with it, and yeah, that's all I'm playing right now.
Are there any microtransactions in that? Because I heard there's like building, like you have to set like there's timers to building things.
Oh yeah, it's not a microtransaction thing. It's more of the microtransaction is actually in the actual battles themselves. Like actually, but no, there's like a little mini game where you could actually rebuild a city, right? And it's kind of a little bit addictive because the more you build up the village, the better equipment you get. But that's where the problem lies. I have all this cool equipment at my disposal, and I have no fucking money to afford this shit. So I gotta grind just so I can buy all this cool stuff.
But there's no pay for this to make this go faster type. Like there's no pay for real money type situation in that.
Not really. I mean, in combat, you could like pay for this ability to like speed up your attacks during battle, but you get that during the course of the game anyway. So you don't.
Okay, but they're not charging your credit card. Like get special default coins and speed up this and speed this up by 10%.
Yeah. No. That's nothing like that. I would have been fucked up.
I'm a sucker for a good kind of like meta game like that where it's just, I love building cup stuff in the background and yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like remember in Assassin's Creed you could do the
fleets. Yeah, you send
I love that kind of stuff too. So it's cool, and it's kind of like that. It's like I have my little guys here, building a village is cool. I like it.
And speaking of metagame, I was reading that Game Informer had this big feature on. They got a chance to try Metal Gear Ground Zeroes. And had an interview with Kojima, and they were asking about like how the base stuff works, and it sounded like it's going to be a metagame of you like finding guys, putting in. It looks like the base itself gets to be customizable, where you can walk into people's. I can take a look at Tony's base and see how he's doing stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, because you had Mother Base and Peace Walker, but now you'll be able to go to other people's bases. I think that's how it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm down with that.
Metagames, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, George, what are you playing? Since you were talking.
What am I playing? I'm playing South Park: Stick of Truth. I'm digging it so far. I'm not as emotionally invested as some people are, and playing it, I was kind of getting like flashbacks. I'm like, man, this game was supposed to come out like years ago, right?
Yep.
Like, and I'm kind of happy that I feel like the combat's a little bit too simple, and like I'm probably gonna speed rush through this game, and like I might just beat the game. Yeah, I think it's like 10 to 15 hours or in that ballpark. Yeah, so I may just beat it just to kind of be part of the conversation, but outside of that, I don't think I would have finished it otherwise. Like, because like I said, I'm not a huge South Park fan. I think the game looks gorgeous, and I like seeing just the random. I like seeing Trey Parker's or Matt Stone. Right, it literally just says here, just go kind of nuts. It's South Park mixed in with Middle Earth. Just it's a game about kids LARPing, which is kind of hilarious because it's something we've all done as kids, where it's like maybe not LARPing, but it's like, well, I'm gonna be Batman, you're gonna be Superman, you're gonna be a cop, I'm gonna be a robber. Like it's that kind of nonsense, and I love that all the weapons are just kind of like household products. Like the hammer of truth is literally just a ball-peen hammer with some with a thing on it. I was like, that's really neat. But yeah, it's very simple. It's got it's if you're expecting like a really like down and dirty heavy RPG, you're not gonna find that there. It's just got enough RPG elements to call it an RPG. But yeah, no, if you're expecting Dragon Age, that's not there. But I don't know, if you like South Park, you'll like the game. Whether you give it a 6.5 or a 10, that's entirely.
Oh Lord.
Mileage may vary, and and let's talk about review scores for a second. Like the 6.5 is not a bad score. That means it is a game that works, and you know what? If you're a fan of the franchise, you might like the game more. And I think Dave pointed that out more than once in his review. I just get it on PC. I would get it on PC or wait a week or two, just because it seems like
PlayStation.
It seems like on every other console, it's just like some people are just like, this game doesn't work. Some people are like, this game works fine. Some people are like, it stutters.
Yeah, I mean,
wait for that patch.
Part of that is because it's from Obsidian, and they have a tendency to release very buggy games. So
yeah, it's I was surprised when I was playing on PC. I was like, oh, I had one issue where my characters themselves disappeared, so I was walking around invisible, and then the next load screen took care of that. But I was like, damn, these Obsidian guys, they can't catch a break. But
yeah, because I've heard a lot of people having like save file issues and things like that. And that's a no-go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, and it's from Ubisoft, so I was like, you get on PC, you gotta get to that launcher. Like, Ubisoft launcher.
Dave, what are you playing?
Wait, what?
What are you playing? It's your turn.
No, because I thought you said Ryan for a second.
No.
I'm playing. I just finished South Park: The Stick of Truth, and just been playing some Final Fantasy. That's about it.
Yeah, your avatar says it all, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, you should try the Banner Saga out.
I will when I have some money, definitely.
There you go. Yeah, next Steam sale, you definitely would try it, because I'm thinking of going back to that, but like. Thing is, playing South Park puts me in like a good mood because it's funny. Playing Banner Saga just bums me the fuck out because like you want to talk about like a depressing game. That game is depressing. Like the opening of that game is literally the old gods are dead. I'm like, man. Oh fuck, all right. And yeah, and then you just lose people left and right. Just people die. It's very Game of Thrones-ish, where it's just like, hey, you can't just do that. You're like, that was a main character.
Everyone
you can't
you
just
love is dead.
Well, yeah, they have no problem. It's like, you thought that was a main character? No, he's fucking dead. Good luck, enjoy.
Not anymore.
There's a lot of just deal with it mentality in that game. It's like, I think you made the wrong decision in that cutscene. Well, that guy's dead.
Too bad.
Sorry.
This really is the Deal With It podcast.
Yeah, it really
6.5, deal with it. New Batman, deal with it. Amy Hennig's leading Naughty Dog, deal with it.
God. 6.5, deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, I think we lost Joel. I hope Joel is in a burlap sack heading to Mexico right now because he just disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's playing. I'll just say he's playing Titanfall. Joel's playing Titanfall. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. He was gonna talk about a giveaway, so I guess we'll just tweet that out then.
Yeah, I guess.
DualShockers Twitter for a giveaway of something.
We're always giving out a lot of good shit, so check out our Twitter. Yeah, definitely.
And check out the South Park review on the site. Feel free to yell at me. That's fine. I can take it.
I got a Fable review up on the site.
The Fable Anniversary is up on the site too. It's
not great. It's not good.
And read my editorial about next gen shit.
And Tony's editorial, yes. And Ryan is he's doing Ryan stuff.
Oh. And speaking of editorials, I'm working on one that's based on the situation going on in Russia and the Ukraine.
Oh boy!
Seriously?
Not as heavy as you think.
If this is a Papers, Please editorial, I swear.
No. But that whole situation did remind me of Papers, Please. I'm like, you should just do a mod of just the Ukrainians trying to escape into another country. I feel like that is. Yeah. But yeah, you guys will like it. It's funny.
All right. Well, that's it for the show. This is episode 164. I was joined this evening by Tony Polanco.
See you guys next week.
Ryan Meitzler.
Bye-bye.
Joel Tavares, who is no longer here.
I'm Joel. Bye-bye.
And George Jimenez.
I give you guys a 6.5.
I'll take that.
You gotta take it. It's above average.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
All right. Good night, everybody.